Typhoon Khanun hits Heilongjiang, halting all public activities in Shangzhi City for 3 days. Earthquakes hit Heze in Shandong and Yibin in Sichuan on the same day. CCP satellite debris nearly hit a residence in Shaanxi Province. The victims criticized Heilongjiang officials for visiting the flood-affected area to pose for photos. 10 billion yuan in funding intended for rebuilding Henan after the 2021 flood were intercepted. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Typhoon Khanun hits Heilongjiang, halting all public activities in Shangzhi City for 3 days. In the wake of the recent flooding, Shangzhi City in Heilongjiang Province issued another urgent alert on the evening of August 9. The announcement warned residents to prepare for the impending impact of Typhoon Khanun, which was expected to hit the city the next day and bring torrential rains. The city decided to suspend scholastic activities, professional duties, industrial operations, commercial endeavors, and overall business operations for 3 days, from August 10 to August 12. The flood control headquarters of Shangzhi City also issued an official proclamation emphasizing that the city had been inundated by the assault of torrential rains caused by Typhoon Khanun since August 2. The advisory strongly encourages everyone to stay home whenever possible and to step outside only when absolutely necessary. Kindergartens, primary and secondary schools, as well as summer instructional centers, have all been closed as a result of the mandate. All commercial and entrepreneurial initiatives have been forced to halt operations, except for entities dedicated to essential public services that foster livelihoods. The advisory also emphasized the need for the closure of subterranean locations and underground parking garages. At the same time, ongoing building projects have come to a halt, with workers working on elevated and outdoor tasks suspending their activities. The Central Meteorological Observatory reports that Typhoon Khanun is now moving at a speed of around 15 km per hour, with very minor changes in strength. Forecasts predict that the typhoon will collide with the southern coast of the Korean peninsula on the morning of August 10. The storm's power is expected to wane gradually when it makes landfall. The news release outlining the path of Typhoon Khanun as it approaches northeast China has gotten a lot of attention. Netizens have expressed their disbelief, with one saying, "Never did I imagine a typhoon would encroach on the northeast." Having just survived the Khanun typhoon, the impending arrival of Khanun only adds to the misery. Coping with the dual impact of 2 typhoons is an unprecedented ordeal. Earthquakes hit Heze in Shandong and Yibin in Sichuan on the same day. China has been grappling with a series of calamities, including typhoons, floods, and earthquakes, in recent times. China seismic station data confirms that at 4:16 on August 9, a magnitude 3.0 earthquake shook Gongxian County, Yibin City, Sichuan Province, located at coordinates 28.42 degrees north latitude and 104.77 degrees east longitude. The tremor occurred at a depth of 8 kilometers. Before this, a 3.5 magnitude earthquake was documented in Liudong County, Sichuan Province, on August 7. In a related time frame, Heze, Shandong, was also hit by an earthquake just before the Yibin event in Sichuan. According to findings from the Shandong Seismic Network, at 3:28 on August 9, an earthquake of magnitude 2.6 shook Henan District in Heze City, Shandong Province, located at coordinates 35.36 degrees north latitude and 115.38 degrees east longitude. The seismic event occurred at a depth of 10 kilometers. Reports from mainland media indicate that the quake had a discernible impact on the peripheral regions of Heze. Notably, Heze is close to Pingyuan County and Dezhou City, where the previous seismic activity was observed. Online observers have speculated that the Heze earthquake could be linked to the same tectonic plate movement. On August 6, a 5.5 magnitude earthquake struck Pingyuan County, Dezhou City, and Shandong Province. This seismic event marked the most significant tremor in Shandong Province over the last decade and reverberated as far as Beijing, situated 300 kilometers away. Up to 8 a.m. on August 6, a total of 59 aftershocks were recorded. The earthquake inflicted varying degrees of damage to local infrastructure and residences. It is worth noting that the impacts of Super Typhoon Doksuri, which caused torrential downpours in Shandong Province, have left the region in shambles, with many homes flooded to varying extents, causing structural impairments. Before the Dezhou earthquake, a multitude of individuals had taken note of what they considered to be pre-earthquake omens. These omens included the unusual snowfall in Xianghe County and Pingshan County of Hebei Province, a profusion of swallows soaring across the sky, and the collective swirling of insects. On August 1st, in Shaanxi City, Hubei Province, a blood moon appeared as an unexpected finishing touch. As per traditional beliefs, a blood moon signifies ill fortune and an ominous turn of events. Concurrently, there were anomalies in nighttime animal behavior before the Heze earthquake. Nonetheless, officials disassociated these peculiar behaviors from the seismic activity. CCP satellite debris nearly hit a residence in Shaanxi Province. In a dramatic incident on August 9, debris from a Chinese Communist Party (CCP) satellite plummeted from the sky, landing perilously close to a private residence near a village in Shaanxi Province. The impact was accompanied by a resounding crash, causing even window panes to rattle. The occurrence unfolded in Taizimio village, nestled within Sichuan town, Danfeng County. A viral video circulating on the internet captured the moment when a cylindrical, white object, likely a portion of the satellite, crashed into the earth. The impact scattered numerous metal fragments across the vicinity, leaving burn marks on the object's surface. Although no injuries resulted from this incident, the debris came to rest merely a meter away from nearby residences, prompting a crowd of curious villagers to gather and observe. According to a local report by Mainland Jupai News, a resident of Taizimio village disclosed that the incident transpired around 6:50 a.m. on August 9. The satellite wreckage descended in a haze of smoke, reminiscent of an explosion. Village inhabitants had been forewarned about the event, as such occurrences were not unfamiliar. Similar incidents had transpired in prior years. A representative from the Sichuan town government affirmed that efforts to maintain the site had already been initiated. Further actions are expected from higher government bodies to address the situation. The official commented, "We lack detailed information due to security considerations." According to an analysis by Sina.com on August 9, the Long March 2C rocket, part of the 2006 Environmental Disaster Mitigation 2 satellite mission, had been launched from the Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center at 6:53 on the same day of the incident. Given the timing and location, experts deduced that the wreckage likely belonged to the Long March 2C rocket. The victims criticized Heilongjiang officials for visiting the flood-affected area to pose for photos. On the evening of August 8, video footage revealed a distressing situation. Allegedly depicting officials in a disaster-stricken region of Heilongjiang, the video portrayed these officials striking poses for the camera without providing any substantive relief, much to the anger of the aggrieved citizens. The video's accompanying text conveyed a poignant sentiment: "Look at our leaders here. They come here just to watch the fun. Instead of helping the farmers fight the flood, they just stand around and take pictures." The recorded scenes exhibited disaster-stricken individuals speaking with a distinct northeastern accent, inquiring about the departments these officials represented. Among the victims were those who resorted to verbal abuse against the inspecting officials. Several of the besieged leaders adeptly evaded the tense situation. Throughout the height of the devastating floods in Hebei and Heilongjiang, no authoritative figures took up positions on the front lines to facilitate rescues. Instead, the affected populace and voluntary rescue squads shouldered the responsibility of aiding one another. It was only after floodwaters receded in the hardest-hit region of Zhuizhou and neighboring areas in Hebei that provincial and municipal officials emerged to coordinate disaster relief efforts. Furthermore, in response to the Chinese Communist Party's flood discharge operations in Hebei, numerous waves of protest have emerged. On August 9, a video circulating on social media showed a group of disaster-stricken people from Xincheng village in Gaobedian, which is located inside Hebei Province's Baoding city, finding themselves in a desperate predicament. These victims, suspected of filing complaints with local authorities, came up against a barrier formed by a squad of special police troops. The footage bore witness to the CCP's special police force employing brutal tactics against the victims, with some individuals being forcibly knocked to the ground. Amidst the chaotic scene, onlookers could be heard repeatedly shouting, assaulting citizens. The rule of law is absent. In a separate incident on August 6, villagers from Gaobeidian, Hebei, found themselves at odds with officials due to a covert government embankment project carried out under the cover of night. In the meantime, on August 5, Dongjiangzhuang Village, Bazhou City, Hebei Province, witnessed another demonstration. Villagers gathered at the government building carrying banners demanding the restoration of their homes. The banners expressed their outrage by explicitly indicating that the calamity was caused by flood discharge rather than natural rainfall. The incident quickly turned violent, with black-clad men holding police shields engaging in physical confrontations with the enraged locals. A female resident of Dongjiangzhuang Village recounted that thousands convened, prompting the government's response to appear inadequate in negotiating compensation for the affected populace. Subsequently, on August 7, victims residing along the Daqing River in Bazhou City returned to the government premises, demanding answers. However, their attempts proved futile when law enforcement used pepper spray to disperse the crowd. Following CCTV's declaration that the flooding was caused by rain, the victims, who had suffered significant losses, expressed both anger and worry. Their primary concern was the potential denial of compensation, which compelled them to gather and seek clarification from Bazhou's governing authorities. As the situation worsened, CCTV News Network decided to remove this sensitive topic from its coverage. Another incident occurred on August 6 in Dingxing County, when disaster-affected residents protested the synchronized release of water from 4 upstream reservoirs directly outside the county government's offices. In response, local law enforcement forces were mobilized to repress the emerging movement, escalating tensions between authorities and rights advocates. Notably, the contentious engagement between governmental forces and civilians also played out on August 1 in Baigo, Zhuizhou, where government operatives embarked on a clandestine embankment excavation operation at the Heze village bridge's western embankment. Villagers detected the covert maneuver and intervened to halt the effort, precipitating a tense standoff with law enforcement personnel at the scene. The incident occurred against the backdrop of a broader narrative where the imperative to safeguard the Xiong'an area compelled the CCP officials to transform Zhuizhou into a reservoir for floodwaters. Yet, the CCP officials opted for a cover-up, inciting public resentment and igniting a series of ongoing protests. Upon digesting the unfolding events, a multitude of netizens responded with a mix of emotions and sentiments. Many people spoke up, expressing collective displeasure and skepticism about the CCP's approach to crisis management. Some remarked, the CCP seems more inclined to eliminate those who voice concerns rather than address the actual issues at hand, while others mused, the once disparate CCP now appears indistinguishable from the populace it governs. Revelations from the Epoch Times underscored the assertion that the Hebei Armed Police Force had assumed control of the disaster-affected territory on August 5, displacing civilian rescue teams. Accounts from local individuals further contended that this official takeover was underpinned by a concern that the extent of the disaster's true toll might be exposed, as stark evidence of fatalities had accumulated within a single village. Additional assertions from netizens pointed to the Zhuizhou flood discharge's death toll becoming a top-secret matter within the CCP's realm. 10 billion yuan in funding intended for rebuilding Henan after the 2021 flood were intercepted. On July 28, a follow-up report titled Audit Work Report on Provincial Budget Implementation and Other Financial Revenue and Expenditure in 2022 was presented by the Audit Office of Henan Province. This comprehensive report expands on the audit's focus, specifically addressing the process of post-disaster restoration and reconstruction after the catastrophic flood that struck Henan in 2021. It brings to light a series of issues that have surfaced during post-disaster reconstruction efforts in certain regions. Among the problems identified are the improper utilization of post-disaster recovery funds, the deliberate withholding of these funds, the submission of false commencement and completion reports for projects, substandard project execution, and the unauthorized allocation of reconstruction funds for projects unaffected by the disaster. The total monetary implication of these lapses is estimated to be nearly 10 billion yuan, about $1.387 billion. The audit report emphasizes that over the past 2 years, the Audit Office of Henan Province has conducted multiple audits of the province's post-disaster recovery and reconstruction activities, with a special focus on the examination of 44 counties that bore the brunt of the disaster's impact. According to a spokesperson from the Henan Provincial Audit Office, a dedicated department responsible for corrective actions and a specialized rectification framework have been established. These mechanisms oversee the process of guiding and compelling accountable entities to undertake corrective measures. Given the variable durations for rectifications stipulated for each unit, the overall status of these rectification efforts is expected to be disclosed by the end of November. Despite the gravity of the situation, there has been no official indication thus far regarding the pursuit of administrative or legal responsibility against the implicated entities or individuals. Between July 17 and 23, 2021, the province of Henan experienced an extraordinary episode of torrential rainfall, which triggered catastrophic flooding compounded by the release of floodwaters by authorities. This calamity inflicted significant human casualties and substantial property damage. On the evening of July 20, Zhengzhou Metro Line 5 was swiftly inundated, leaving a large number of passengers trapped in the carriages. In an equally harrowing event, the North Tunnel of the Beijing-Guangzhou motorway succumbed to flooding within a mere 5 minutes, leading to the instantaneous collapse of numerous vehicles. The tunnel's water level reached an astonishing 13 meters. Accurate casualty statistics remain elusive due to the Chinese Communist Party's (CCP) concealment of the true scope of the tragedy. The release of the audit report promptly triggered a surge of public outrage across online platforms. Netizens responded fervently, with one questioning, has the Henan provincial government issued an official response to this? Some comments were more direct, asserting, rectification, you say? How do you rectify a crime? Perhaps by serving time behind bars and rectifying your actions. Criticisms towards corrupt officials were also prevalent, as one individual stated, "When I say corrupt officials, I'm essentially implying their execution. To be more diplomatic, their avarice targets the state's finances. To be blunt, they're essentially profiting from the toil and sweat of the populace. This money grubbing is causing perpetual hardship for ordinary citizens. What's your perspective on this?" Additional comments portrayed Henan as emblematic of broader challenges, with sentiments like, "Henan merely serves as a microcosm." This dynamic permeates all levels, as long as the mantle of power is present. Reflect upon this. Other remarks reflected a sense of desensitization to such news, with a commentator stating, "In China, this isn't an anomaly. I'm no longer surprised by such reports. Corruption, embezzlement of public funds, ordinary citizens continue to endure." Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.